All right, let's talk about something that keeps a lot of business owners up at night. I'm talking about one of the biggest, most nerve-wracking decisions you can make, implementing a new ERP system. It's a massive investment, right? Not just money, but time, and the stakes couldn't be higher. So the big question is, how do you make sure you're making a brilliant move and not a mistake you'll be paying for years?
And that really is the question, isn't it? Is this huge project going to be the thing that unlocks the next level of growth for your company? Or is it just a very, very expensive lesson in what not to do? Because honestly, with an ERP, there's not a lot of middle ground.
You're pretty much heading down one of two paths. On one side, you have total transformation. The system just works, it gets rid of all those annoying inefficiencies, and it actually helps you grow. But on the other side, well, it's a disaster. It's not just that you wasted a ton of money and time. This system actually creates brand new headaches you didn't even know were possible.
So you gotta wonder, how do so many smart, well-meaning projects end up going so wrong? Well, almost every single time, it starts with the same temptation, the urge to take a shortcut, to just rush in and get it done.
I want you to picture this. You've got a manufacturing company, and they are fired up about getting a new ERP. They're excited, they're ready to go, and they decide, you know what, let's skip all that boring planning stuff, that discovery phase, and just jump right into the build. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Well, fast forward 6 months and tens of thousands of dollars. They hit a brick wall. A core inventory process, something that is absolutely mission critical to their business, just flat out doesn't work in the new system. Suddenly, the warehouse is in total chaos, orders are backing up, and the entire project just screeches to a halt.
And the real punch to the gut isn't just the money they've already spent. It's all the hidden costs, the stuff lurking below the surface. You've got a team that's completely frustrated, morale is in the tank, nobody has any confidence left in the project, and productivity has absolutely cratered. And now you're looking at a mountain of expensive rework and customization just to get back to square one.
Okay, so that nightmare scenario? That is exactly what the Odoo Success Blueprint was created to prevent. This isn't about crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. It's a structured, proven way to make sure you steer clear of those disasters from the very beginning.
So what is the Odoo Success Blueprint, or OSB? It's a fixed-price engagement that takes about 4 to 6 weeks. But here's the crucial part. It's not just a bunch of meetings and documents. It is a true validation process. We actually build a working proof of concept so you can see your own processes running in the system before you commit to the full-scale project.
So how does this validation actually happen? What does it look like? Well, the whole thing is broken down into 3 really clear logical phases. Let's take a look.
The whole thing wraps up in a really manageable 4 to 6 weeks. We start in week 1 by strategically figuring out which Odoo modules, think of them like apps for your business, like accounting or inventory, are the right fit. Then, for the next couple of weeks, we roll up our sleeves in these deep dive workshops to understand exactly how you work. And then, the magic happens. In those final weeks, we take everything we learned and build out your very own configured proof of concept.
And this really gets to the heart of what makes this so different. A typical discovery process ends with you getting a giant document. The OSB ends with you getting a working system. We don't just write down what you need, we actually build it in Odoo so you can see it, click it, and test it for yourself.
And let's be super clear. This is not some generic sales demo. Not at all. This is a system that's been personalized for you. We're talking about your specific ways of doing things, using data that looks just like your data, all set up and running on a private test server built just for your company.
So at the end of these 4 to 6 weeks, what do you actually walk away with? It's not just a vague feeling of confidence. You get real, tangible things, actual deliverables that give you undeniable proof before you have to make that big purchasing decision.
You get 3 critical things. First is the blueprint document itself. This becomes the playbook, the single source of truth for the entire project. Second, you get a super detailed project scope, so there's no ambiguity, no "I thought you meant" conversations down the line. And third, and this is the crown jewel, you get your own configured staging server, a working system that you and your team can get your hands on to test and validate.
Honestly, the best way to think about the OSB is like an insurance policy for your ERP project. You're making a small fixed investment up front, say around $9,600 for a typical project, to protect yourself against the massive risk of wasting tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars on a system that ultimately fails. It's about shifting that risk from after you've paid to before you commit.
Now, once you've gone through the blueprint, you've seen the proof, you've validated the system, you are completely in the driver's seat. You're empowered with 3 clear, flexible ways to move forward, so the rest of the project happens entirely on your terms.
You can choose the full service path, where we take care of everything from start to finish. Or, hey, if you've got the team for it, you can take that server we built and do it yourself. Or you can choose a hybrid approach where we handle the really tricky parts and your team takes care of the rest. The power, the choice, is completely yours.
And this whole process didn't just appear out of thin air. It's backed by some serious expertise. The team behind it has been 100% focused on Odoo since 2014, with over 47 successful projects under their belt. And get this, they were founded by accountants. That means they don't just speak tech, they speak the language of business, which is so crucial for building a system that actually solves real-world problems.
So when you boil it all down, it really comes to one thing. Before you sign any contract, before you commit to any ERP project, there is one single question that you have to be able to answer with absolute, unwavering certainty.
And that question is, will this system truly work for my business? If you have even a shadow of a doubt when you answer that, you are taking a huge gamble. The entire reason the Success Blueprint exists is to erase that doubt, to give you the tangible, undeniable proof you need to answer that question with total confidence.